point it a bit higher. Wagwan! No, I'm still quiet. Wagwan! Wagwan!
Hello, welcome to Recall to Base, a show where we recall to about all things Riftbound. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Samuel. This week we kind of have a bit of a cool podcast idea, as we always do. So, obviously, Earthtrek just happened, and we can't wait to talk about all the funny yellow decks that made it to top 8. But there's also some cool spoilers, so I think we should discuss some spoilers as well.
Yeah, we'll be Riftbound report for a week.
We love Riftbound report.
No, we actually do that.
Yeah, that is.
I can't remember. Well, I don't know his name, but like whoever runs that account, like actual god tier. Actual god tier. But no, we have some spoilers that we haven't had the chance to cover yet. One from Radiance and two from Vendetta. One that recently just got spoiled like 2 days ago.
One from Vendetta, two from Radiant. No,
yeah.
Cut that out.
So me when I say it right, because I actually remember. So should we just start things off? Just get straight into it.
Yeah, of course. Just reading off our personal Discord where we have cards to talk about. Let's start with the first card to be spoiled from Vendetta, Riven. 3 and a green power for 3 might. She's a champion unit, Riven Noxus. She's got Weapon Master and 1 eye attack. Choose an enemy unit here. Deal 2 damage to it for each equipment attached to me.
Now this card, like, I don't know.
I just want to say, I like how I think this is going to be a new meta, but they made the pre-release promo, like, alt art and, like, old cool.
Yeah.
I think I don't know why they didn't just do that from the beginning.
I think they did, though.
It just has the stamp, but the card looks exactly the same, like the Yone.
The foiling is, like, different, isn't it?
I don't think it is.
No, it is, because it has, like, the promo foiling. That's what makes it a little bit different.
But this card even looks like an overnumber. Like, not overnumber, but like a full art.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
like an epic.
I mean, the Yone was full art, like, kind of, but not like... It doesn't just didn't look as good as this.
Yeah, exactly.
But no,
yeah.
But regardless, this card, I actually think this card is not pretty, but like really good. Like I think this card actually reads really well, especially with like, a lot of equipment decks.
See, it's kind of fixing the Yasuo problem and the Kha'Zix problem and the Yone problem of all these shit cards that deal damage when they attack. Because all these shit cards that are unplayable, they're all like 5 mana plus. And Riven just being 3 mana, game changer.
Yeah, it's actually really big that this unit is very efficient and equally statted. It's not like a free cost 2 might unit. It's a free cost 3 might unit. So it's actually got like a good stat line. I do like that they did give this a power cost because it kind of like circumvents the weapon master aspect of it.
Yeah,
even if you're cheating the mana cost, the power cost, of a weapon master equip, you're still paying the power anyway to play this card.
I think it makes the curve really good of like turn 1 you play a 2-drop equipment, turn 2 you play Riven, weapon master the equipment, and then you kind of do the Feyfolk thing where you threaten your opponent out of not moving things to the base, where like to the battlefield because they'll have to have fight spells. But that's where the weakness of the card I think shows up, unless you equip again and then attack, or have a protection spell or a pump spell or something. She kind of just folds to your opponent seeing the board state because everything is on board. Unless you can give her a haste or ready her and then swing on the same turn, your opponent is going to be like, okay, I need to beat 2 damage or 3 or 4 damage plus her might.
I think that could be the one way to play. I personally think this is a great late game card. In a way to like, so basically, here's the way I view it, and this is probably from like the meta, like this is a bit more of a meta call for right now. Is I'm thinking like the initial thought I thought was that you play this in Azir, like midway through the game or maybe later in the game, but you play it as your late game like sweeper unit, in the sense that like you play her and then you pass. And in next turn, you threaten to be able to kill multiple things in combat.
That doesn't work. It says choose an enemy unit.
Yeah. You just use it as a sweeper on a big unit.
Oh, on a big unit.
So like for example, let's say you're playing...
like a Yasuo.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so you play it like... But like, unlike Yasuo, which is 6 costs, like 6 costs then pass, this is a 3 cost and then you can do other things on your turn, right? Yeah. You just deploy... It's just really efficient to deploy her. And you treat her as a late game threat because let's be honest... Besides, like in most equipment decks, you're gonna have at least 2 to 3 equipment out by the time you play her out. Yeah. So she's gonna be like 6 might. She's gonna do 6 damage. Like a unit that deals 6 damage and is like 6 to 8 might. That's really good. That's really good, efficient.
I still think it has a few problems that where maybe I'm thinking about it in the meta, but maybe it'll pair well with one of the cards we're going to talk about, Akali, where there isn't really a deck that kind of wants to do the green aggro strat or green big stuff.
Is it?
Yeah, but the problem is Azir doesn't need a sweeper unit. Azir's tokens are the sweeper units because you go in, get interaction out of your opponent's hand, Theft Grasp, go in with a bigger token, they lose. Azir doesn't need Riven.
But I feel like what's it called? The deck doesn't not like. I feel like with the current shift of like efficiency, I think like a unit that like even though it's not a Sand Soldier, a unit that just reads I potentially can kill 2 things on my own. That's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good. We also don't even. I like one thing I didn't even think about. You brought up as well is that in orange it reads really good. Imagine you irresistible Faithfolker unit into Riven. Can you imagine that? You just like
you can stack the triggers. I guess.
No, because Riven's on attack. Irresistible Faithfolker's on move. So you do the move trigger first.
Attack and move are the same trigger. Because he doesn't need to.
Yeah, so then you can stack it.
Yeah, but the way it works is Riven has to declare a target on the chain.
Does she?
Like in Magic. So you'd need to wait for the Faithful trigger to resolve, but
because it doesn't work like that.
She also needs to have an initial.
But it doesn't work like that with other cards. Like, because is she on attack or defend?
She says on attack.
Yeah, so it'll be the same thing as like once she becomes an attacker. Once she
becomes an attacker, sure.
Yeah, so I think like there might be some rules changing, like because the only alternative I could think is that if you attack with no units on our battlefield, she technically isn't an attacker.
True.
But then like when the Faithful comes in, then she becomes one. Yeah. I don't know if that's the ruling.
We need a clarification.
Yeah, but I think if it works like the way I think it works, where like if I irresistible Faithful something in, now Riven like you could stack it where you Faithful something in and then Riven does the damage. That reads really well. Yeah. That reads like a good way to like I play Riven out really early. And then I just like swing with her late. But I think, personally, she's more of a late gaming unit. Because I'm just thinking of like the Azir game playing. I run out of units, or you killed all my tokens. Now I go, okay, now I have but oh no, I have a Riven in base because you have to spend all your time killing my tokens. I equip with all the equipment, swing, I kill your big thing, and then your little things are left.
I also that's true, but I also think this is a really good buff to Jax, which is
that's why Jax,
which is a deck that I think is actually pretty real. It's obviously only played by mains, but the mains are doing like really well. Even like local meta, the guy is going like 3-0 multiple times.
It's not doing like
he's like very near the top of the leaderboard, just like Jax, which is interesting.
And I think like what's it called? Like I don't know. I feel like Jax having I just feel like an efficient sniper unit, like just feels really good because I think the issue with the other sniper units we've seen, they require too much setup or they take up your entire turn to deploy.
Yep.
And I think the fact that Riven doesn't require like your entire turn to deploy unless it's like
even the fact that you can go like on turn 3 your opponent's like got some shitters in the battlefield, you can go Riven into first mate, kill something, that's pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. I think it, like it has legs, and I think like what's it called, like from my perspective, unless you're playing against like another equipment deck or like a whole deck or something like that, most stats aren't even that big. Like most stats aren't even like that
unless you're playing against Yi. I think this card just hard loses to Yi. Most combat things lose to Yi.
Exactly, but I feel like it does actually have some legs against Yi because let's say Riven's equipped, she does her damage, and then she can trade with the unit.
I guess.
Because don't forget that the unit doesn't have to die. She could still like do an efficient trade. So like it's like when people suicide Scuttle for value. You can suicide Riven to get for a trade.
There are some interesting, cute ways to make this cool. Like, I thought Shaft made a short where he put a Spellswonger on Riven.
Yeah, I saw that.
Attack with 4 damage. Whoa!
No, also they saw like with Ornn, because it's like with Ornn, Sniper Ornn with Ezreal. You get like a second sniper unit now, an actual good one. Yeah, actually is.
I would love to play Pike against that. I never leave units in battle.
Yeah, no, obviously mean deck, but I think I like that they gave like equipment something new. Because I feel like the most boring thing you can do is print new equipment. Obviously, they're gonna print more equipment. Let's not beat around the bush. Yeah, like they are gonna play more equipment. But I think I like that they made this unit, especially at pre-release, which is quite interesting.
And I'm glad they came back to Weapon Master, and that's gonna be just an evergreen keyword rather than just the gimmick for Spirit Forge.
Yeah.
All right. So should we talk about next? We're giving ratings now.
We should give Riven a rating. We should give all cards.
What are we doing? Out of 10? Out of 5? A to B? S tier?
Should we give it like a letter rank?
rating.
I think we've done that in our previous videos anyway.
Sure,
so
let's do a letter rating.
Yeah. Should we do it like should we do a countdown? Let's do it.
No, I think
Let's do a countdown. No, I think we do a countdown. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
B minus.
I give it a B.
Sure.
I don't do the minus because I'm not the American system. But I think
I'm a 0.5 nerd.
Yeah, but I think Rivet's good. I think it needs a little bit more work. It needs a little bit
we
more
need
support.
to see the rest of the support.
Yeah.
But I like how it's efficient, and I like how that power.
No, good efficient stats, good efficient ability. Equipments are very strong right now, but I think we need to see a bit more legs to make it like broken. But anyway,
next card we got to talk about was actually a leak. So Riot Games, avert your eyes. Akali, the Rogue Assassin. She's our first red-green legend.
Our first off-color legend, yes.
Yep, enemy color, yeah.
Enemy color, yeah.
And she's got a new keyword, Empower, for 3 and a power. Empower me, use only if not empowered. So the way we're choosing to read this is kind of like exhausting magic. You activate it once and it's just activated.
You never activate again, and Akali is now always empowered.
Yep. And then the cool part, she has action, tap her. If it's your turn, move a friendly unit in a showdown to base. And if I'm empowered, ready it.
Yeah. So one thing I want to like point out is one thing that I remember some people asking about is, and people kind of forgot about this card when reviewing it or talking about it, is that you can still do her action ability to move a unit back to base, even if she's not empowered. Mm-hmm. And what's it called? And it just won't be readied, but like just being able to like action speed move a unit out of combat can be quite crucial, especially with movement units, but we'll go over that in a moment.
It's first of all, I like the color combination doing very combat focused things.
Yeah,
you're obviously going to use the green side of the color pie where
disciplines on
guard,
spells,
the GA
combat tricks, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So Akali makes it really good where you can go into a showdown, make your opponent use their resources,
and then pull out.
Unless it's like a kill spell, but make their opponent resources, and then if somehow you're not winning the fight, you can just be like, all right, I'll save my unit.
Yeah, like I remember when you were telling me about that the other day when it's like what's it called? You can like use it to bait out interaction. Mm-hmm, like you're like you have. I'm gonna force you to do something. If you don't do something, I win. If you do something, I'll just move back and save my unit.
And it's kind of like puts your opponent in a shit situation where they either have to waste interaction or they have to lose a showdown.
Yeah,
and it's so annoying. It's gonna be so annoying to play against unless you have hard kill spells.
It reminds me of the whole like set metagame plan, like the whole thing with set where like you can't like committing resources is important in that matchup, but you don't have infinite resources where they have infinite units basically because of set ability.
Yeah, so but at least you can like kind of cope where you can have a beneficial exchange if your opponent has to pay a power. Yeah, Akali doesn't. Akali just says, "I tap my legend."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is really good. Now, like, what's like? I also love. The one thing I think most people are excited about, I think the idea of movement tech with this card reads really, really well. Mm-hmm. One card, two cards I think most people are obviously excited about. Stellarcorn, we know this card's good. Like,
especially good in this deck.
Yeah, even if you don't score, just being able to just go draw 2 in like every turn sounds really, really good.
I would easily give up scoring just to
draw 2. Yeah.
Because the thing you can do is if there's no units in base and you have another unit in your base, you can just like move Stellarcorn, move it back, and then go in with the other unit to score. And then you're up 2 cards.
Wait, quickly, is Akali base? Can you do the ability only in showdowns or in combat?
Only in showdown.
It says in showdowns. Okay, so you can and only during so you can do the Diana thing. It's like similar to Diana where you can still use it even if there's no units there, which is really good. And another one that I think actually might give this card a bit more legs because I remember we had this card a lot, but didn't really talk. But it's showing no play, which is Red Jhin.
Red Jhin. Everyone was so hyped about this card at the start. It does feel strong when you're playing it, but then you realize, oh, I'm losing because I played. You spend 4 mana and a power for a guy that doesn't have any. That
doesn't get bigger or doesn't like draw cards or give card advantage. Exactly. It just makes mana, which is good, obviously, but not like that strong. But like,
but in a deck where you're going to be so focused on combat tricks and so focused on showdown actions, you need that mana straight away. So Jhin kind of can have a slot, and you're already playing a 4-drop that doesn't do anything.
But more importantly, the thing that I think that actually makes the reason why you play this is that Jhin on its own can help pay towards the empowered cost.
True.
Because let's say you play let's say you went first and you play Jhin turn 2. Mm-hmm. Turn 3, you swing with Jhin, then you use Akali to move it back. Now you have 2 energy and 2 power.
And now you just need 1 more energy.
You just have 1 more energy, boom, Akali's empowered now. Yep. Which is a very efficient way to empower Akali. Because I think that's the only downside of Akali right now, is empowering feels like such a tempo loss.
Yeah.
Free energy and a power is a massive not.
And the effect is good. But
the
it's
effect
not,
is-
it's not I'ma take a turn off good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like especially if you're playing like an aggro-y, a card does read like a very strong aggro-y mid-rangey card. Like if you're playing it, if that's
That kind of feels like the new Irelia.
yeah, that's true. Oh my god, if she actually plays like Red, I'm gonna be so angry.
Yeah, I mean, what else? What are you expecting?
Yeah. But then but my point is that the fact that you're playing that type of strategy, just taking a turn off to empower feels really bad. But with Red Jin, you have the
You
ability
don't have to take a turn
Yeah.
off. It's just one energy. I like that, and also leaves a power left over for the equipment stuff, which I think is going to be kind of crucial to this because you're going to want to play Riven.
Yeah. Also, like we should talk about how we feel about this color combination of Calm and Fury now, and then because the legend is the legend at the end of the day, like it's going to be good or not, it depends on the deck. But we have to talk about if the color combination is good, because we haven't seen this color combination before.
I think this color combination is going to be obnoxious.
I do think so too. Yeah.
Think about what green offers, which is protection and
combat tricks.
trickiness, and think about what red offers, which is aggro.
Aggro.
The weakness of red is that you can go in and aggro, but then you get blown out in the late game and blown out with interaction. Green covers that weakness. This is literally the Izzet of Riftbound.
Yeah.
When you have aggression and protection. And it's...
Yeah. There's also...
That's fucked up.
There's also the kind of thing where this is the first time green and red have access to both their pump spells, which is really important because imagine a red deck can go cleave on guard. Yeah, +5. It's 2 cards, but +5 is pretty fucking strong.
Yeah.
And then you also get Void Seeker and Discipline too, to cover the card draw. Discipline being way better than Void Seeker, but I don't know, is Void Seeker still in play? I think it is, right?
Yeah, and that's another weakness that green had. Green doesn't really have great ways of removing threats.
Yeah.
Red does.
Yeah, because we have Falling Star and Void Seeker, which, if we play with the Jin, is really good. Oh my god. Imagine you go, Red Jin, move up, then Akali are back and go, and they go, okay, so you're going to power it. Okay, no, I'm going to just play Falling Star for free.
Yeah.
Turn free.
Yeah.
This actually sounds really good. The color code actually has, a lot of legs.
But, yeah, and... Obviously, this is even with the cards that we have right now, this card would be insane, and this would be a great deck. You could literally go brew it right now. But if you think about what you can get when you add a champion and a signature spell,
yeah.
Oh lord, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. This is gonna be another Defiant Dance situation.
You know what? We were talking about. I remember we were talking about the shop yesterday because, for context, I was a chud and forgot my equipment, so we were recording this a day after locals.
Yeah, which is fun.
It's fun, yeah. But I remember the general consensus that people were gonna assume. Obviously, we don't know, but we're gonna assume that Akali's gonna have an attack trigger. Because that's one thing about this legend that does. Any card with attack triggers is pretty good. Right now, we only have
Riven.
Right now, we only have what's it called? Red Lucian and Yasuo in our colors. Both not that great.
You're not gonna play those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Even if they made the support for them good, you wouldn't play those.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's also really good with Assault. That's the first thing I thought when I read this card. Is so Assault is just really good here.
Why is this so good here? Because it doesn't stack.
Because it doesn't need to stack. You can because the weakness of Assault is you go in, Assault trigger, your opponent does some fucky shit, and now you're sad. But now you can non-committally move it back. Obviously, this is not going to work with cleaves and stuff because you're wasting the cleave. But with a card like Serrated Dirk, I guess.
But what's it called? But isn't that the same with any unit with any stats? If they play a combat trick,
maybe.
But it does highlight your point that I think it gives combat focused decks a lot more interactivity. We're seeing with things like Ambush right now.
Yeah.
That's what's making combat centered decks like Rengar. Have a lot of legs because you could just if your opponent does something, you just ambush out another unit.
What ambush cards do we have in green?
I don't think we do have any good ones. No, we don't have any good. We don't have any green ambush. No, we don't have any green ambush. Because what color? Because Vex doesn't play any ambush units. Then they would.
We have Janna, but that's a defensive ambush card.
Yeah, that's a defensive one, so that doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's no ambush units in green.
Fair enough.
But
maybe we'll get new ones.
But in red we have Rengar, Grim Apothecary. Probably Grim Apothecary won't be playing this deck.
Lord Broodmane, if you're a crazy
bitch. Probably red Rengars. They're probably the strongest ones that you could play with this card. But no, that sounds nuts. It's because Akali reads. Wait, someone needs to brew around that because Akali. If you think about it, Akali reads like a Starcross every game. Not Starcross. What's the battlefield? The battlefield.
Starfield.
Starfield.
Star Fountain.
It reads like a star fountain.
You know the card we're talking about. It's
yeah.
probably not called that, but you know what I mean.
It reads like that battlefield because now, no matter what the battlefield is, I can go swing, ambush, move my other unit back.
That sounds pretty good, especially with Red Rengar.
That sounds actually kind of nuts.
The only weakness I see with Akali is that the legend itself, which it doesn't need to, don't get me wrong, but the legend itself doesn't provide any defensive capabilities. She makes it really good at you getting into battlefields and breaking a hold or breaking your opponent's defense. But then your unit is just stuck there, and because of the assault stuff we talked about, it's probably going to lose.
Green does have some defensive nature to it, a little bit.
Yeah,
like
which
in
is why I'm not that scared. Like, you
but like at the end of the day, like
Zonya's.
like the way I view it is, is a glaring weakness, and she might struggle in the late gamey like type of decks. Like she might struggle against like LeBlanc. Or what's it called? Like
Diana.
Not Diana, or what's it called? Elder Dragon. Aurora, like stuff like that. But like, what's it called? But she can cover her legs pretty well in other matchups. Like, because it's like the way I view it is like Rengar doesn't need to be defensive that really.
Yeah.
And Akali can be.
But the thing is, Rengar actually has some pretty interesting defensive tools with Punch First.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. So yeah, that is a
signature spell. So. It's a bit different, but we're gonna see. I like the idea of being able to do the Starcross thing with an Inferno, and then your opponent goes in, tries to kill an Inferno, because it's alone and it's just one might, so you go on guard discipline, and they're like, which sounds awesome.
I also like, what's it called? I'm just interested to see what the Akalis are, because I like the legend, like I think because for those who don't know, they designed both Origin and Spirit Rush together, and everything else was designed after the fact in hindsight.
Yep.
So like I like the idea now that we're getting to the point with, especially with Unleashed, and now
where they know how the game works and they're designed accordingly to make things either strong or not.
They're designing like ledges around it, and I think like I don't know if you can agree with me, but I feel like the legend doesn't make the deck. The rest of the deck makes but the deck makes the deck now.
Yeah,
it's not like
100%.
It's not like Draven, where like Draven was the legend and that won you the game.
I mean, we have Irelia. And we have Yi.
but it's in like Yi is obviously like
the outlier,
the outlier. But like most other decks, like it's what's in their 99 that actually matters. The legend itself is just like the extra gravy on top.
Yes, and this doesn't apply to every deck, and there's good thing like upsides to that and downsides to that. But I like how Akali is pushing a deck in a certain direction and offering colors that I think are just naturally going to be broken together.
Unironically, I'm so, I don't know about you, but I'm so tempted by playing this deck. I'm so tempted.
I think it'd be cool. We need to see how the rest of the cards shape out. I can definitely see this failing.
Oh yeah.
I can see this not being good.
Yeah, this deck is like,
because the glaring weakness of being weak in defense is something that you have
to treat it as like a tempo based aggro deck, and like tempo based aggro decks can do well, but they are very reliant on their key units at the right time. Like, does it have a good turn? Does it have good turn 1 plays? Does it have good turn 2 plays? Good turn 3 plays?
Especially because I don't think these colors have access to the I'm gonna avoid being in the defense cards. Like, who doesn't have the Siren? We no longer have. Battlefield.
Yeah, we do have Emperor's Divide and Emperor's Divide, which is a card that's like seeing way more play than Flash right now.
And we have the new Empress Deus tech, where when you conquer, you can bounce it back without paying the 2 to make the Sand Soldier. So you just bounce it to your hand. You just bounce it to your hand for no cost.
True.
Anyway, I think we've talked enough about Akali.
But no,
let's give the rating.
Yeah, we'll give the rating. Let's do the countdown. 3, 2, 1, A. Wow, we're actually so in sync. Give me some, bro. No, Akali does read very strong, has a lot of benefits. The tempo loss with Empowered is pretty bad, though. That's the only downside I'd say with this card.
And the defense. But yeah, okay, final card we're going to talk about. It's actually a a Radiance card. So let's talk about the new Radiance card, Seraphine.
Yes.
She's 5 mana and a yellow power for 1 might, but what she says, when you play me, or when I become exhausted, play a 1 recruit unit token to your base, and I have +1 for each other exhausted unit you control.
This is such a like meta matters card. Like, it actually is kind of crazy, like, if this card is, like... Because right now, token spam isn't that good.
It's bad.
Yeah, but, like, control token spam is pretty good.
I mean, Victor just top 2'd in Urtra.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So,
like
it sounds like a Victor card, but Victor probably wouldn't play this because it costs 5 fucking mana.
To be fair, like, because I remember when this got announced, I remember everyone in the group dogged on this card. I think this card does have a little bit of legs. For one, with Vanguard Armory, like, I was talking about my mate, and he took him a while to realize, but Vanguard Armory with the Seraphine out reads as make 3 recruits and give something +3.
Yeah.
Which is a, like, pretty substantial, stat line.
Yeah.
With the cost, it's a weird one because of the cost, it kind of reads as like either a good kind of midish control card where like it's really awkward for a control deck to drop this down. But then like in an aggro deck, this could be a really cool top end.
Top end, yeah.
Yeah, which is what I think. Which is what I'm assuming the card is trying to be.
I remember I had some success playing Darius tokens in set 3, and this would be set 2, sorry, and this would be an interesting top end for it. But at the same time, I like the strength separate for being top end of just a generator of tokens. Like, you always have Call the Weak Father, you always have just shit to create, I guess. And creating tokens is good. Like Victor's shown us, creating tokens every turn is good. I think this card's strength is highly going to depend on the legend and the rest of the deck.
If token spam is good.
Color.
Because, like, to be fair, like if you're playing a token, if the deck becomes token aggro, the deck itself becomes really interesting in the sense that imagine like my whole deck is I make recruits or tokens every turn, like every other turn or something like that, and then turn when you have 5 runes, you go, okay, I drop Seraphine, she's 8 might, good luck. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if the meta does call for that, but like
we've seen that like units that are just big on defense, they're like okay, they're not awesome, they're not crazy. Set yellow set, the one that sees actual play.
Oh yeah.
He's like 8 might on defense just when you put him down, which is cool and all, but that's only good because after you buff him, set can save itself after your opponent inevitably uses a
He also protects big. He has tank. Because he has tank and he's a big unit. Seraphine, the thing that interests to me is the question I want to ask you now is, what do you think is a acceptable stat line for it to be worth it? Because I know my number. What do you?
6 at least.
I think it has to be like 7 might to make this card worth it.
Yeah,
like,
6 is generous.
6 is like okay-ish number, but this card needs to be like a 5 cost 7 or 6 might. At 7, she becomes actually good because like to be fair, like playing a 5 cost 7 might unit that makes a recruit and then makes a recruit every turn sounds really good.
Also, I want to spend a little bit of time theorizing about what this deck could be. I'm going off Seraphine as a character and also Seraphine's title, not alone. I think this is going to be our first amount of units matters deck.
Yeah,
where
1000%.
It's gonna, like, the legend is going to be designed on if you have this many units or around creating units so that the rest of your deck cares about this many units. And the champion reflects how this could be important. And I think a yellow-green token deck would actually be really sick. Because remember that?
No, she's yellow-blue. She's been confirmed to be yellow-blue.
Yellow-blue tokens, guys! Yeah. Yellow-blue tokens, we're so creative! But yellow-green deck token matters would be so cool because we have all the 2/2 Sand Soldier shit. We have all the, like, a spell that makes it really interesting is Feather of Flight, or like the 4 mana counter spell that also creates 4 1/1 birds.
Yeah, but she's not green though. So,
I know, but it would be cool. Or we say fuck the legend and we just slam her in a yellow-green token deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my theory, I like the idea of that because I think theoretically, I think this card, like Seraphine, like I see is that this is the top end legend out of the champions, out of the 2.
Yeah.
Like, unless the
Which is normally the card that doesn't see play.
But yeah, that's true. But I feel like this one, it's like, it seems like a good top end threat. Like, it seems like a good, like, if the deck does become, like, I spam tokens and I have token matters or I care about X amount of units or whatever.
Are you sure it's been confirmed that she's green, yellow-blue?
Yeah. Google it.
Oh,
Google
I'll take your word for it.
No, Google it.
I don't need to. I take
because on the starter deck, on the dual deck, it tells you the color.
Yeah, it's the... Fuck.
Yeah, because Evelyn's orange purple.
And then, is really cool, by the way.
And then Seraphine is yellow-blue.
Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah, I know. But like Seraphine, like I don't know why she have to be one might. That's the only thing I was
Why
like,
does she have to be 5 mana? I could forgive the 1 might if you made it across like 3 or 4, but like,
I just can't wait when like someone figures out a way to break her and and then she becomes
She
like
sounds like an interesting win more piece in the Infinite deck, like the Lux Infinite deck.
Yeah, but no, as in like I like the idea that like when what's it called, Radiance comes out, people play and she's like, oh wait, how big is she? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, she's 12. Huh? She's 12 might and I have to kill their other tokens? Yeah.
At the same time, is like, I win more. I have 15 tokens in play and a Seraphine. I also already just had 15 tokens in play, but now I have a Seraphine as well.
Wait, does Seraphine dice to uncheck power if she's in a battlefield and she's like 15 might, right?
Because damage wouldn't heal.
Yeah, because she doesn't heal the damage, and then the units die, and then reducing her might. And
I'm gonna be so real with you, Nathan. A lot of things die to uncheck power.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But
glad you brought it. Uncheck power. Complete side note, guys. Yesterday, locals was fucking awesome. I was playing the last round against our buddy Patty. Patty is playing Jin control.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck you, I'm gonna play a Baron. Patty doesn't really have outs to Baron. He has unchecked power as his only out to Baron. He plays 2 of them. He goes, okay, whatever. You play Baron, I'm just gonna develop, do sneaky combat stuff. I even fucking played a hidden Tide Turner to like ambush with a Baron, which was pretty funny on another battlefield.
Yeah.
And then on my turn, I slam second Baron, and Patty starts crying because in his hand he had unchecked power, and he was gonna fuck me with the Baron because unchecked power kills a Baron unless Baron has +2.
Yeah.
From Baron.
Jesus Christ.
And I even moved another Baron to base, so now I just have 2 Barons, and his unchecked power is sucking donuts, bro. It's so funny. I won that game, and I apologize profusely because that was some bullshit.
I just like the idea you beat unchecked power and you're like, I'm
But to be fair, in the first game of that set, it was Baron, unchecked power. Then I go in my next turn, Baron, and he unchecked powers again. So,
okay.
Yeah, we both took turns having the nuts.
We win some, we lose some. But anyway, Seraphine, we should rank Seraphine.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, C.
We're actually in it today. Actually,
this is an echo chamber podcast.
We just say the same shit, bro.
Yeah. We're just the same person wearing different clothes.
I'm
actually editing myself. Notice how we're not in the same camera? This is because... Notice how we're not in the same camera? This is because I've edited things.
Yeah, but anyway, Seraphine, she needs a lot of work. And I think like to make her good... A lot of work for not that huge of a payoff. Big unit, but...
Yep. All right, let's get on to the second part of the podcast, which is the interesting one, which is Utrecht.
Utrecht just happened, yeah. What's it called? Very interesting top 8, like, in general.
Yeah. I wanted to discuss the rest of the meta, but I don't really have the stats. While we talk about the top 8 specifically, I'll try to get those up.
Yeah.
But let's just jump on in and deck that one. Azir, same guy, Squirtle. The guy is just the nuts, and once again went completely undefeated.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is like, someone needs to go and like put this guy's brain in a vat and study it. Anyway,
no, because like to be fair to him, like Azir like is one of the most aggressive decks out there, and like not many decks can counteract or build against it, because like what's the alternative? Like you have to beat the cards, you need to play very specific cards. Not every deck is running like a playset of them. So you have to like specifically counter this deck. But then like, oh no, I don't counter every other deck now. Which is like, I remember Gibbs, who was best of Jin, who I was talking to yesterday. He was telling me like how like you can't sideboard or you can't deck towards every deck now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem I had with playing Control Pike, where this is like you just don't have the slots.
Yeah, and it's like you can't have infinite number of slots, so maybe that's pushing towards why certain decks are doing really well, like the off-meta stuff. That's like getting actually really high results because they are tackling the meta in a way where you can't have the infinite number of answers, and their decks are so much value.
And it goes back to what I was talking about one of these weeks, where it was the meta is being attacked in too many different angles, and too many top-tier strategies are doing different things. And you, like most people, obviously going to attack for the top 2 decks, Yi and Irelia, and Diana as well to a certain extent, but you can't really take against Diana, it's just mid-range. So the fact that we have so many decks doing different things is kind of like pushing these off-meta decks up. And like we're seeing, piloted by absolute masters of that deck. So Squirtle on Azir, proven to be the best Azir player in the world, not even close. And then Colin K playing Set, third place. Again,
that's
very
crazy.
strong. And then we just have a bunch of these, like, Prismat on Annie on top 8.
Yeah.
There's just, like... This is showing that, like we said, a pull to our game is that if you main a deck and you really pull towards that deck...
You could do well.
You will do well.
Yeah, that's like a real cool testament to the game, is that if you can... There's also the thing of, like, if you understand the meta, I think, like, a lot, like, from what I saw, a lot of these decks tackle the meta in a very interesting way and have the tools, like, because of their color, from what I remember, like, the color combinations that most of the top 8s were in had the ability to, their deck specifically had the answers to what the meta is asking for. Like, oh, I've good interaction, they have good interaction, the unit quality is very efficient. Like, I remember seeing Annie. Like, Annie's unit quality is so good, like, and efficient. Like, and it ties well with the Annie legend in general. Like, it's just...
and all the ambush made Annie so good.
Yeah.
Quick side note. Guess what position the best of Vex was?
I don't know. Like, I remember I might have missed, I might have missed, sorry, but I remember seeing, like, data where, like, Vex didn't make day 2. If I'm saying that's incorrect.
They did.
They did, okay, cool. I think, like, 60th. Like, 50th. How high?
How low?
How low?
85th.
Yeah, Vex is bad. We could go on a little side tangent where, like,
still better than Pike.
Yeah.
The best of Pike was 102nd.
Yeah. I'm unironically, like, even though I'm a Vex lover and enjoy it, I'm actually switching decks now. I'm currently switching decks.
Fuck the best of.
Yeah. No, I don't. I never play. Like, I like Vex a lot. I want to see that deck do well, but the tools, from what I was testing, the tools aren't there, and you have to divert your deck way too much away from the Vex game plan to make it work. Like, cause if you want to play a control hold Vex, you really have to play like Fizz, Starcrossed, stuff like that, and then then at that point you have to fit loads of treasure units or like things that make gold. And then you have to fit like way too much like outside of the whole strategy stuff, and you can't really fit that in either, so it just becomes really, really tight and not worth it. So I'm like, in my mind, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna switch decks. I'm gonna switch something more on my play style. Probably Teemo. That's the deck I'm thinking about switching into.
Yeah,
Teemo, because I have the core of the deck already done, and 2, I think Teemo actually has some legs.
I like it.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're just gonna run into the same wall with Teemo, where it's like, my deck is not the good.
Teemo's a lot better than Vex. Teemo is actually a lot better in my opinion.
It is the same deck.
No, it's better.
I'm telling you, it is the same deck.
Teemo's doing better than Vex in our locals.
It's the same deck.
No.
You're gonna be equally rewarded by mastering Teemo as you are with Vex.
But Teemo, I feel like I could win the game, 100%.
I still think if you want to actually win games, you will switch to a top tier meta deck.
Oh yeah, because me being the meta slave I am, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
But like, you could switch to something like Annie and actually see 6x.
No, but I can't afford Annie, bro. I've got the whole.
Let's look at Prismat's list.
It's just
what expensive cards there are.
3 Kaisers. There you go, done. Done. Yeah.
2 Vex. You already have Vex.
I have the entire deck except for 3 Kaiser, and I'm not dropping 150 on a place of a card that I don't even know I'm gonna play.
Also, can we talk about how lucky we are that we got into the game with Origins and we don't need to shill out almost 10 quid for a playstyle of stack deck?
Oh yeah, but stack deck's still a tenner.
7 quid something.
Is it still?
Yeah, long day.
What the hell?
Obviously American prices, so take that with a grain of salt.
But anyway...
I remember, I was playing against my Kazakh's opponent yesterday, and he couldn't afford stack decks. He didn't have stack decks in his deck because he couldn't afford them. I was like, long day.
Long day. I was wondering why, like, our store, for example, they had, like, a pile of stack decks in their buy, and I was like, why we got that?
Yeah, you know why.
Pardon me.
But
anyway, back onto Utrecht. If I remember correctly, there was a lot more yellow. More yellow.
Did really well in the top tables. So we have Azir number 1, Victor number 2 yellow deck, Set number 3 yellow deck, Diana not yellow, Rek'Sai number 5 yellow deck, Darius Hook, by the way, Value Hook, who was the weirdest baited hook deck I've ever seen. 6th place with yellow. Then then Yi, then Annie in 7 and 8.
Yeah, so yellow did really good. It kind of just goes like Am I missing something with yellow? Because in my mind, yellow just seems like it has the right answers at the right time type of thing.
Yep, it is so cool. Like, I'm just looking at Rek'Sai real quick, which is the aggro deck. Vi is just proving to be one
Really
of the best
good,
cards
yeah,
in the
Vi.
set.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, it's so good that you can guaranteed win a combat, surprised, ambush, and then you still have a unit
Yeah, yeah.
that can do it again if you can survive. It's so good.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
And then one thing that I've seen is that even though we were saying go wide tokens isn't very good, top 8 of Vertrek is proving otherwise because this is just doing the go wide tokens thing. The Darius and the Victor deck, the Darius and the Rek'Sai deck are kind of doing the same thing with play set of Carry and Dredger and just sacrificeable units so that you can go wide, and then the Carry and Dredger leaving behind a 1/1 is pretty interesting. They're both playing the playset. And then Darius is doing Spectral Matron and hook stuff.
Yeah.
Also playing Theory of Xin. He's kind of doing my deck where you're just going efficient units and going wide.
Yeah, yeah.
But as a beta.
But that's good.
For
But
no
that's
reason.
good because bait hook like bait hook right now is a pretty good card because it's like in a format where like I don't know if this is the right term, but this format is a really strong testament to battle of attrition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like bait hook gives like those yellow decks that little like ability to keep going.
You will always have more.
You have
units.
more play. You have more, not more units.
It is more units because you're sacrificing the guys that leave behind a body to get more guys that make more bodies.
Yeah, I said like I was gonna just say like it's more this is that you always get access to cards, like you get more access to seeing your deck and stuff like that, which is really crucial in a game with not that much card draw.
A card that is seeing a substantial amount of play is Safety Inspector, the cold weak on a body.
Yeah.
That's that was what the Darius was hooking into, which is very interesting. Rek'Sai, let me see if they were playing it as well. No, they weren't. But I know Victor was the second place Victor. He was on.
What is it? What's it? I've seen this card a lot. What does it
in
do?
the sideboard.
What does it do?
It's literally Cold a Week on play. On play, you Cold a Week. For 5 mana and a power.
It doesn't have like an XP thing, but no one does
It
that.
has an XP thing where if you pay 3 XP, you don't have to sacrifice a unit. Which is like, okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and we can see why that kind of card is doing okay, because it's against Yi. By the way, I wanted to shout out, Yi is by far not even close the most represented top deck.
Yeah.
Like, on the top tables,
Oh.
every other deck on this list was a Yi deck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You mean so you mean that it was the most represented deck?
I don't know about overall
I think it
tournament
was.
data, but on
No,
day two by
Yeah,
far.
I believe it was the
represented.
most represented deck. I remember seeing that stat. That it was like the most played. It was like 219 people playing Yi.
Yeah, and then
'Cause he's
not
just
that
good.
many people playing Aurelian, not that many people playing LeBlanc, and not that many people playing Diana in comparison.
Yeah.
They were still very well represented, just not compared to Yi.
Yeah, because like I will say, like I'll give credit where credit's due. Yi is just very efficient at what it's doing, and it is a deck that has answers to a lot of the
Exactly.
a lot of the meta. It has if I'm not mistaken, it has a pretty solid matchup spread.
Yeah.
Like in the sense
Yeah,
that
100%.
for those who don't know, matchup spread is just basically saying like what decks am I good at, what decks am I bad at, and Yi as a whole, like I don't think it has besides like control. Like at yellow or control, it doesn't really have that much of a bad
Yeah, it's slightly worse into yellow, but I remember I was watching the Yi versus Pike matchup in coverage. Pike used like 15 cards, or okay, exaggerating, but Pike used a very wide amount of cards like the List, Falling Star, Voidseeker, fucking something else, against a Yi unit, and Yi just did Discipline on guard, and the Pike is just like, so I lose because my cards don't replace themselves, but your cards replace themselves.
Yeah.
So Pike is trying to do the attrition spirit thing, but every single Yi, or most Yi cards just say draw
Draw a
cards.
card on them, yeah.
And it's just like,
So I lose.
Yeah, it's aggro Pike loses against Yi, control Pike loses against Yi. Dodge this matchup.
Yeah. I would say as a cool testament to the format is I like that this was apparently, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first ever regional where no one was playing a mirror deck in top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone was playing a unique deck, which is very good because
all
everyone
different decks.
I remember after our what's it called, our should you get into Riftbound video, a lot of people were saying like what's the best deck, and I said, bro, there's like 8. There's like 8 good decks right now. Like 8 to 9.
And I think the only reason why people are playing Yi so much is because there's so many decks, and Yi is just the most, I can face anything and have an alright time.
A good time, yeah, exactly. But no, I think like what's it called? Yeah, and I think that's going to just make it really healthy. Now, I hope that Vendetta does spruce up the format a little bit. I would like...
See, you say that, but I think Vendetta, the worst thing Vendetta could do is create a tier 1 deck.
Oh, it's true, but
Then
like...
that's long
But
dead.
we gotta get hype and excitement. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like the meta is in such a good place. What there is no way a new set is gonna make it better.
One thing I will say is that do you think because when Vedette comes out, they're not gonna do best of for Origins Legends anymore?
I thought they said they were gonna do 2 years.
They said that apparently. If I'm not mistaken, Origins they're not.
Oh no, 2 years rotation.
Yeah, 2 years is rotation.
So yeah.
But like they're saying like, if I'm not mistaken, Origins is no longer getting best of. Do you think that's gonna affect best of?
It's gonna affect anything that isn't Yi and Annie.
Right now, anyway. Yeah.
It's because if you're not going for best of, there is literally no reason to be playing like Annie. Ari, Set. This is the guy who plays Set. But like Darius, like all these niche decks. I mean, I guess the one trick players will still be on their one trick, but all of the players who are entering these regionals to try to compete for best ofs, they'll just play something else. And it's gonna mean cards like Jinx, no play, Leona, no play.
Yeah.
And it's
they don't
like,
see play anyway, so let's be honest.
Yeah, but they still see play by the people going for best of, which is like, I'm gonna be so real. Yes, it's bad for diversity, but if I'm a tournament player, I think this is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's less shitty jank that you don't have to like get surprised by.
Yeah, true. But then like, what's it called? The way I see it is that like, because of like power creeping and the new cards coming out, one, it's gonna get more legends. The new legends gonna see more play, which is very good.
Yeah.
Even if they're dog tier or whatever, right?
Even if they're Ivern tier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but then second is that like the decks, like besides like a few outliers, like most Origins decks are just getting like thrown out, like in a sense. So like we were losing out on those decks regardless anyway. Now obviously you could get because of the best of like what's it called system, people will just go for it and then you could randomly get against it. But like for example like at Utrecht you could play against a Leona or a Jinx. But like most of the time, you're gonna play must eat. But you get my point. Like,
yeah,
I see. But like, I do think like I personally think it's kind of bad. I understand why as a business and like as a for like reasons.
No, obviously you can't just keep rewarding like as more legends get added to the game. If you have like 50 different decks you could play, you don't want to reward the people who are just like, oh, I'm gonna play the worst one and just get a metal card for free. It's like,
well, to be fair,
it's not a sustainable market.
It's not sustainable. I mean, to be fair, but that's the issue is that like that's what they have been doing. Like you could get best of Garrett.
When there's 3 sets, sure, whatever. Like 3 sets is pushing it already. But like when you had a 4th set and there's let's do math. How many legends are there overall?
Well, like one thing I was gonna bring up is that legends are getting drastically reduced in terms of how many are.
How many are being added?
Yeah, because
which is a good thing. Less guns in packs.
Yeah, no. I also think as well. One thing that's pretty cool is that I don't know how we could go on to it in a second actually, but like the whole idea of like sets are being smaller now and like more focused towards the legends, and then there's less legends now as well.
I think this is overall a good thing.
Oh, it's very healthy. Yeah, I think
it's a way to slow down power creep.
We go into more detail in a minute, but you know, I think the best stuff thing, like I think it's really interesting but like I think it's a bit. I personally think it's a bit of a shame that we're losing out on it.
I don't. If you want, like, when you're already playing a broken legend, like Annie, Victor, Yi... Victor saying it's broken. Anyway, if you're already playing a very strong legend, you shouldn't have the upside of maybe you'll get a metal card.
But like, I think like we're gonna lose. Like personally, I think we're just gonna lose on that aspect of players like playing a niche deck and actually enjoying it and having some reason to. Because like now like
for
example, like if I want to play Teemo, like for example, like just I want to play it because it's a good time. Like I know I understand that it's a tournament setting and I shouldn't be expected to play a tournament style deck. But, like, I like the idea that Riftbound, that tournament anyway, did bring that kind of, like, competitive casualness to it. Yeah. I like that aspect personally, because I think, like, it made it way more interesting for more people to play. Like, that's why, like I remember, like, in most of these regionals, like, 5,000 people go every time. Yeah. Because they are allowed to play, like, a casual deck.
And then get fucking scooped early in the tournament.
Yeah, scoop day one, but then, they
go play side events.
Yeah, but then but at the same time, it's like people who do actually try for those best of cards, they get rewarded for like. I got to day 2 with a meme deck. I obviously didn't stay very long, but
it's weird. Like the people who get the buy round, then you're never gonna play against the fucking LCQs of the game, but because they just get buys every turn. But like just like I don't know how to feel about wanting to play a serious tournament run. Then I go against Timmy on his fucking Rumble deck, and obviously I'm not teched against Rumble. And if I get unlucky, it's not even if I play bad. It's if I get unlucky, I might just lose to this.
Yeah.
And that's my tournament run over because you can't really make it.
But then again, but like,
you're X1.
yeah, but then you could have like gone against it's replaced Rumble with like a top tier deck that you can't beat anyway.
Yeah, but if I'm going for a serious tournament run, I'm gonna play a deck.
Yeah,
that I mean, can beat
like,
every top tier meta.
Yeah, I would agree that like removing the best of thing will make like tournaments more competitive, but like I personally think we're missing.
And at the same time, you could offer the complete flip side where it's like, what's another Timmy name? Lil Sammy on his fucking brew fucking I don't know, Irelia. He's just going to have a good time, but he's playing Irelia, so he's gonna have a better time than most people. And he's against again Timmy on Rumble, and he just gets a free round 1. And it's like, good for Timmy, I guess. Good for Sammy, I guess. And it's like, this is weird. This is weird. Can we please play tournaments where everyone is trying to win the tournament, please? But jokes aside, I do like the Metal's best card. Card. I like it's good for
but anyway, we should what's it called? We should wrap our thoughts on Uchek real quick. Uchek very good.
Uchek very interesting.
Very interesting, yeah, very, very, very.
And I think this is going to be a turning point on deck design for pro players. Because we just saw that everyone on the field is getting smoked by these one tricks. It's just like in League. These one tricks are like
very good, and like now bringing that to a local setting is like a whole other kind of one.
Ignore this completely for this was the local meta.
Yeah.
It's just I forgot. Sorry if you're listening to the podcast, I forget your name. But the Jax guy who's like really good.
Oh, Fred.
Fred, and like Fred is smoking everyone on his Jax because people aren't prepared for the Jax, and he's just really good at Jax. And this is the same thing. I wonder what this means for the skirmish meta. That's something I'm interested in because now we're going to start playing skirmish. We're probably going to the skirmish this Sunday. I'm going to try to hope work doesn't make me come in. But that would be interesting. And I liked how people started playing a lot of Yi because it's the best into the general field. And then Yi's doing really well.
But I think it's like a testament to like how I think like even regardless of regionals, I think it's a testament to like what people should take away from this is that you can be allowed to adjust and edit, and you don't have to just play the best deck. You can experiment and try legends that you actually personally enjoy, or try a legend that you think has some legs, as long as you like look at the meta, analyze it a bit more, and try something new. I think that's a really good element that I brought to the regional. Sorry
for making a weird face. The best of Lux was playing Promising Future, and the infinite combo is sideboard.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, technically they do the infinite combo main board, so the best of Lux was the infinite deck. But and they had a really deep tournament run, which is interesting. But they don't do the infinite I win the game on this turn with Renata on the main board. They side into that, and what they do instead is do the infinite with Echoes and Lecturing Yordle and Forge of the Future to make infinite 1/1s in base and the battlefields you control. And I guess both battlefields because you can accelerate Echoes.
It's the same.
Yeah, so I guess they make infinite 1/1s and then try not to lose on the one turn and just ask your opponent, do you have it? Do you have it? Until they win.
Yeah. But anyway.
I still think it's crazy that this fucking deck is winning. Your combo is you draw your deck. Hello?
You should be allowed to draw your deck, Sammy.
No, not draw your deck as in I win my combo is that I draw my deck. My combo requires me to draw my deck.
Yeah, that's allowed. That's allowed.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing that it's allowed. I'm saying it's how are you having success if your win con is you draw your deck?
Because your deck's only 40 cards, Sammy.
Yeah. They're playing the 2-mana reaction gear.
Yeah, the draw card
works map.
Yeah, when you draw a card when they score. Yeah. That card's so funny. But anyway,
it's just 2 mana draw too.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. But anyway, Utrecht, play more play whatever you want at this point, bro, boys.
Yeah, play whatever you want.
Boys and girls, play whatever the fuck you want.
Play whatever you want as long as it's yellow.
Yeah, play whatever you want. But anyway,
Are you thinking of playing a yellow deck?
no.
Okay.
I don't know. My thing is that I'm very much the type of player with Riftbound is that I always gravitate towards
Gravitate.
gravitate. I always go towards the decks that have that pique my interest the most. And right now it's Vex and Teemo.
The best Nation was playing Brambleback. Whoa.
Wow.
He was 150th place.
Okay, Sammy. I like it when Sammy I get on a point and then he decides to switch points because he has a computer screen and he has ADHD and doesn't understand how to have a human conversation with a person on a podcast, by the way.
Dun 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 dun.
Jesus fucking. But no, because I don't know if you agree, because you've been playing Pike quite a lot and you're just playing Pike for the
best of, and I like the deck. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And now I'm winning games. Whoa. Yeah, I think since we have a little bit of time left and we did locals yesterday, do you want to talk about our locals yesterday?
Yeah, I went 1-2 and then you went
2-1.
2-1, which is I was on Vex. I was on the Vex hidden list because I was generally overall performing the best. And you were playing. What were you playing?
Aggro Pike with some changes.
Should we go over what you think, or should I go?
Sure. I really like my list right now in the sense where it has such a different gear of attack. Like against the versus the aggro matchup, I'm probably losing, but if I'm not, I'm doing the control game where I'm setting in falling stars and trying to kill and bounce all your shit and then
it's actually quite nice that your deck is able to pivot.
Yeah,
pivot quite easily.
One thing I was thinking about is do a transformational sideboard where I yeet out all the specific niche hate and just pivot into Pike control in the sideboard. But I've talked about actually did it and it doesn't look good.
What were your matches? What were you?
I played game 1 against Diana. I got smoked by the perfects. Our buddy Jacob just had it all. I don't think the matchup is that bad, but if you don't draw the right cards, it's already unfavored. But if your opponent has it,
they also draw quite a lot of decks, so they're able to see all the right answers as well.
I remember I lost game 1 because I gave them the loot battlefield. That's my game on battlefield, and they ended the game with 5 cards left in the deck.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But it was relatively competitive.
What's your game 2 and 3?
There wasn't game 3, I just got smoked on game 2. Sorry. For the rest of it, sorry, of course.
Round 2, you're right.
Round 2 was against Kazakhs. Opponent's deck wasn't finished, but I technically won 2-1 that game, but it was because my opponent misplayed and I just said, let's assume you played correctly and you win.
Yeah.
And so technically I 2-0'd, but for the sake of playing against a player who's trying to get into the game, I did the 3rd round. And it was very interactive, but I think my deck just kind of hard wins against Kazakhs.
Yeah, I mean, Kazakhs is it's neat tricks. You just beat their neat tricks, I think.
Yeah. Their neat tricks involve my units being in base with the Faithful and stuff. And all the charm tech with the things. But all my units that are in base, I kind of don't care.
They're just in base for the sake of being able to swing, right?
Yeah, you have, and all the units I actually care about, I bounce them back to my hand. You can charm my treasure hunter. I make a treasure. You kill my 1 might unit. And then the 3rd game, I was against our buddy Patty on Jin, and like I said, I had the Giga Nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was an insane matchup where we both drew the perfects. But my perfects are Baron, and his perfects are Unchecked Power.
Yeah. But no, it's really cool to see. I like that. Your progression with Pike has been really good.
Yeah, get smoked and then switch to deck list and stop getting smoked.
Yeah,
I'm still interested in texting the control version. Yeah. But I'm having so much fun with aggro. I kind of don't want to switch.
Yeah, I'm having the inverse problem. My deck was doing really well at the start, and now it's really bad.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Vex. I was playing the control Vex for a long time. I switched to Hidden, which I feel was the best one. It's the best version of the deck. With basically the plan is that we hold a battlefield and we protect it with Teemos, Evelyn's, Purple Pikes. Yeah. And then we have cool interaction like Purple Kazakhs.
I remember we were playtesting and I beat you.
Yeah.
Which the Pike against Vex. For all the playtesting we've been doing throughout this set with for the last couple of months, it was such a hard losing matchup for me. And I don't know, I guess it's saying something about how the meta's adapted and how deck.
Yeah,
building
everyone's
is
adapted. Yeah, everyone's been adapting really well, and like the issue is that, like, and also the thing is that people like because purple Vex is so prevalent, people have a lot of ways to interact to beat for it.
Yeah,
and
that's
when
the big reason as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
and when you're able to play around and beat through it, like when you're able to, your deck it turns a lot of decks online. It's like really hard to go through.
Do you want to talk about the reasons why you think Vex is doing bad? So maybe you can choose to address it or like choose to move on.
My main reason is that Vex's protection pieces are way too specific and the board states are way too volatile. So for the first point, the key cards that you need to have most of the time is like back offs, existential dreads, or like for example, like star-crossed in very niche scenarios or rebukes. And like if you don't have those key specific answers, it gets really tough, and you can't play multiple of them a lot of the time in a single turn unless you hide like a back off and then hold another spell. And if you don't have and as well, if you don't have a lot of those at the right time, your board kind of breaks really easily.
Yeah.
And the second thing of boards being very volatile in the sense that if you ever lose one battlefield, Vex just basically loses the game.
Yeah.
Which is why like
Vex, it's the whole like Vex is bad at retaking thing.
Vex is always going to be bad at retaking because of the nature of we don't really have a good efficient accelerate unit. It's really like because of like the meta with cards like with ambush and stuff like that. It's really hard for them to retake because most of the time their option to take is okay. I will just play a big unit and then you just lose on that front. And when it does do the thing, it does feel really it feels really unwinnable for your opponent.
Yeah.
Like if they draw pretty, but for me,
it's a bit of a win more deck.
yeah. But that's the thing is that like what I found is that the deck feels like once it's a snowball, but then the snowball is like a snowball. It's very volatile and it breaks easily. And I love Vex as a legend. I like her as a character. But I think that instead of if I'm playing a hidden / control variant, instead of having card draw, I'd rather have mana saving, or more personally, retake potential. That's why I'm thinking Teemo will have more legs because I'm able to play.
Fletcher.
Oh, not Fowler's Tail. Not actually not important. Is Sprite Burst and Sprite Fountain.
Yeah.
Those two cards will make the deck infinitely better because now I don't have to rely on this chungus like Kha'Zix. I can just actually go. Okay, I play Sprite Burst, swing for 6.
Yeah.
Sure, no power. And then and also on top of that, I get to play things like Blue Teemo, which is very strong on defense. Evelyn as well is very good on defense.
Yeah. My thoughts on why Vex is doing bad.
Yeah.
You can disagree with me. I think it's just taking the worst out of 2 top tier meta decks that are already very teched against. So it's kind of like Irelia, where you have all the green-purple combat tricks, so people are prepared and like experienced against the green-purple combat tricks. But it's also the worst of Yi, where people need to beat Pure Might Hold. No, Pure Might Hold backed by combat tricks, where people are already prepared to do this. So the fact that Vex is just not as good Yi and not as good Irelia, where those decks are already like very teched against, it just puts Vex in such a bad position in the meta.
It does, 100%.
Like meta-wise, if Yi and Irelia fell off, Vex would have a way better shot. But it's just like, if people are attacking against those 2 decks specifically, Vex is
very good for
very bad against
yeah. And also another thing as well, like Vex doesn't also loses out on some of the best cards for the colors, like because of I have to like you can't abuse things like Fizz and Starcrossed like very well unless you really pivot your deck towards it because the power cost is so steep.
Yeah, Vex is already that's another thing. Vex's mana economy is fucked.
Yeah, your mana I like in the hidden variant I didn't mind it because like your most expensive units for cost anyway.
Yeah.
So like you don't lose out too much, and it's like by that point you don't have a lot of cards in hand.
Yeah.
Like you can get fucked with deflect units. Like, I remember I got fucked because I was playing against Aurelia and I had to target it 4 times. But anyway, anyway, it was like she just can't like abuse those strategies without pivoting too hard. And when she pivots too hard, you might as well play a different deck. Yeah. Like if you want to abuse Starcross Fizz, you just play Diana. If you want to play more aggressively, you just pivot to Annie. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and that's why like I want to play Teemo. And I think Teemo will be a more healthier switch because 1, they're more counteractive for the meta because Sprite Burst and stuff like that exists. 2, my defense options, in my opinion, are better. I have way better protection. And I also, like, what I'm thinking about is that Baron in Teemo just sounds like nuts. Just sounds like giga nuts.
It's pretty good. And Teemo does in D-Ramp.
Yeah, exactly.
that
That's
much. So,
that's another
yeah.
thing is that my curve is efficient and my card draw is efficient because I'm gonna push. I'm gonna push like the 2 stack deck and potentially and with blue team modes you can just like sift through your deck to see Nocturne and stuff because I'm gonna do a Nocturne build because that build looks fucking ridiculous.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Good to close.
Yeah, good to close. Yeah. When you,
Yeah. Thanks a lot for listening, guys.
thanks for thank you everyone so much for listening. Tell us in the comments below and or tell us in person if you ever see us what your thoughts are on any of the Vendetta spoilers. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Just let us know.
Let us know also what you ended up thinking of the meta in Urchtech.
Just let us know all your opinions. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. And we'll see you in the next one.
next week.
See you. Bye.
Forgot to mention it's my birthday today.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Sammy.